Hey, hi everyone. This is Ravi Kiran, and I'm from Team One. I'm the Scrum Master, and I have Habib, Lewis, uh, Kevin, Vamsi, Jayanth, and Harrison working along with me. So we have developed a portal to track the entire deployment of the solar project. So this is the portal. This would be our homepage. So the different activities that which can be done here are like the customer can raise a request interest saying that hey, I would want to have a deployment at my place. Each user working in the company, like sales representative, operations manager, construction manager, and site surveyor, they can use this portal to log in and see their dashboard and do their finish their tasks. We have also added pages to track the requests, make payments, schedule the requests. So all these things are live on this portal. We have used for the front end React, JS, and Django. And for the backend, we have used AWS Cloud for the development. So let's start the demo. So let's go to the customer request form wherein they can enter their details and submit the request. Yeah. So as soon as the request has been submitted by the customer, they would receive an email, welcome email, saying that hey, your request has been successfully submitted, and thank you for the request. There is also tracking page to track the request. So let's go to the tracking page and see the request status. So yeah, as you can see, the request has just been started. So it is under the initiated stage. So now let's talk about the different user dashboards. So Lewis would explain you more about the sales representative and operations manager dashboard. Over to you, Lewis.
Thanks, Ravi. Yeah, so what we're gonna do is go to the login page and log in as a sales rep, which is the first step into the whole process. I should mention that if you're a sales rep, you're not able to access any other users' pages. So you're only able to access yours. As you guys can see, once you log in, depending on the user, it will redirect you exactly to the one that you are assigned to. In this case, you guys can see that the request that we just submitted is the first one up there, Johnny Hoboken. And then we're gonna click submit on the on that first request, right? What that does is that it will assign that request to us. In this case, the sales rep is called Jordan Belfort. So as you can see in the second table, in your request table, we will look at the Johnny Hoboken, the third one, yeah, that request has been assigned to you. Okay, if we go back to the tracking page, we should be able to see that now the status of that has changed, right? Exactly. So now it shows that the sales operation is on track. So the next step is actually going to the operation manager, which will continue this process. What we do is just log out and log in as the operation manager. Of course, in that ideal scenario, everyone has their own role and you have to like actually log in, log out. But for demo purposes, it's the easiest way. Once we log in, we'll redirect us exactly to the operation manager page. As you can see, we actually implemented a couple of UI on the top. It shows how many in progress, done, or how some statistics of the customers that have been assigned to this specific operation manager. So if we go below, we'll see the table of the requests that have been assigned to the specific sales rep. So what we're gonna do, what the operation manager does is that they select the request and they assign it to a specific construction manager. So what we're gonna do is just select one and assign it to a specific construction manager. And then when we hit submit, that specific request will be assigned to operate to the that specific construction manager, and it will disappear from this table. Then the next step will be going to the construction manager, which Habib will explain more about, and the next steps to come. On to you, Habib.
Thanks, Louis. So yeah, I just wanted to quickly point out that as Louis pointed out as well, users are not able to view other users' pages. So as an operations manager, if I wanted to view the construction manager page, I would not be able to do that. So for that, I would have to log out. And then log back in as a construction manager. So just following along from the previous flow, when the operation manager assigned the request from Johnny over to this specific construction manager, it will show up as an unassigned request for this construction manager's dashboard. And they will also be able to see the in-progress requests that they have assigned to site surveyors, as well as the completed requests that site surveyors have actually gone ahead and completed. And then finally, they're also able to see customer scheduled requests. So following along with the flow, let's go ahead and select this request and assign it to a site surveyor. And I will assign it to this one right here. And then as you can see, this request is no longer showing up as unassigned. Instead, it will show up as belonging to the site surveyor whose name is Football Soccer. So then let's go ahead and see what sort of operations the site surveyor can perform. And for that, we'll log out again. And then log in as a site surveyor. So as we can see here, the site surveyor is able to see Johnny's request. And if they click to expand it, they have an option to upload customers' images. So what this entails is basically this replicates the site surveyor actually going to this address, checking out the property, checking out the dimensions, and then going ahead and uploading some images and also some comments pertaining to that request. So I'm going to upload some images here for Johnny. I'm going to upload a picture of a roof. And for the second image, a picture of a different roof. And then for the comments, I will add this roof is slanted. And then I will go ahead and submit this. Great. So then if we refresh the page, we will see that Johnny's request is no longer in progress. It is in fact, assigned back to the construction manager. So we will go ahead and head back to the construction manager to see what sort of operations they can perform on this newly updated request. So as we can see here, the request will now show up in the third table belonging to the construction manager as a site surveyor completed request. So at this point, the construction manager is able to do a few things. First of all, they can view the customer's uploaded images. So they'll be able to see what the actual roof looks like that the site surveyor uploaded. And also they can add estimates to this request based on the comments that they left, and also based on the images if they have some knowledge about what processes to involve. So I'm going to go ahead and add some estimates to this request. So for the price, I will enter 1,000 US dollars, and for the number of working days, I will enter 4, and then go ahead and submit this. Great. So now, as you can see, that request is no longer going to appear in the third table. Instead, what will happen is the customer will actually receive another email. So before we do that, let's just go ahead and track the request to see what part in the flow it's in at this point. So as you can see, it shows that the estimate has been done. And in the intermediary steps, there's also some additional tracking statuses. So those statuses pertain to the operations manager, the construction manager, and the site surveyor, which are all the processes that we just showed. So then coming back to the email, the customer actually received a new email. So this will include the cost estimate as well as a duration estimate, and also will include a payment link. So the customer can go ahead and pay for the service. And then once that payment contract has been completed, the process is that the customer can then schedule an installation. So I'm going to go ahead and copy the tracking ID that was in the email. And then I'm going to go ahead and submit this payment. And it'll say that the payment submitted successfully. So then at this point, if I head back to the tracking page and track my request, it'll say that the payment has been done. And then coming back to the email inbox, there's a new email that was received by the system, from the system. And this includes a link for scheduling the project deployment. So if we click on this link, it again asks for the request ID, as well as a preferred install start date, as well, and also a preferred install end date. We can go ahead and submit this request. And the system will respond saying that the request was submitted successfully. So coming back to the tracking page, now if I try to track this request again, it'll say that the customer has scheduled the project deployment. So now heading on back to the portal, if we go ahead and refresh this page, and once again, we are on the construction manager's page, we can see that the request has disappeared from the third table, which is the completed requests. And instead, it'll show up in the customer's scheduled requests. So the very last step in this process is once the project has been fully deployed and finalized, the construction manager can mark this request as done. So once I click that, it'll show a toast message saying that the request is done. And then to verify this, we also send one last email to the customer stating that the deployment has been completed. Finally, if we track this request one last time, we can see that the request is fully done.